I don't know if Ms. Hall's gonna make it today or not, but if she doesn't, that's okay. A year or so ago, the council and myself, of course, voted to help you guys a little bit financially with our alcohol money, and I guess a year is about past the school year, and we wanted to hear from you if it's helped this year, and some of the things that y'all are planning with the money as we go and this kind of thing.
Yes,
Just
sir.
remarks.
We've had it's been a tremendous help to the high school. We're implementing a program in the county. It's called Google Classroom, and with this, you have to have a tablet in front of you, and we use Chromebooks. And the teacher can send a lesson to the students with one click of the button. Students can bring that assignment up, work on that assignment on the computer, no paper involved, whether it's an essay, whether it's math problems, or whether it's a history assignment, whatever the assignment is. Student can work on that assignment in class. They can go home, pull up their phone, work on it at home, work on a home computer or home tablet. On their, all the kids now basically have phones, but it's a seamless assignment. The teacher can go in and edit an essay. Right then, the students get automatic feedback instead of waiting the whole day for to turn their paper back in. They can look at night and see what they did wrong, how they need to correct it. It's going to be a huge success for us. We've been able to put 4 different sets of Chromebooks in 4 different classes with this money, and it's just been great for us. And it's going to be really helpful going forward. And we appreciate you guys doing that for us. But it's going to be a huge success for us.
So that's the kind of feedback we love to hear.
Absolutely. And we couldn't do this if we didn't have the Chromebooks in front of us. We couldn't do it. There's no way you can implement that in a school without the use of the Chromebooks.
This is right down the pike of what we had hoped would take place with these funds.
It's been great for us.
So did it take the whole amount of the funds to do this?
Yeah, and that was just 4 classrooms, and we're going to add on next year. But the teachers that were really ahead of the game and ready to step into that, and it's been a year-long process. Our county just paid for the program, so we had to get all the students an address, a Google email address for them to go in and get on the computers. Then teachers had to get their email addresses. So it's been a process throughout the year, but now it's really going good, and teachers are excited.
Good news.
We're gonna have training beginning of school next year. I've got a guy coming in from UNA to train, and the county has another person coming in training also. So it's gonna be really good.
Middle school is the same way. Each Chromebook is $240. My goal is to outfit each kid with their own Chromebook. Not that they take home, but it stays at school. And because right now we're having to share. There's not enough Chromebooks to go around. So one class might have it one day, the next class has it the next day. But I just purchased the other day, or this year, 105. With the money that you guys gave us, I also we have a program called Accelerated Reader that the kids read library books and they take tests on. That helps, that program's around $3,000. So that, with the money you gave us, we used that. Bought a lot of books for the school. Each grade level is called Scholastics. And it's more up to date. It's, I don't want to say it's a newspaper, but it's got your more current events in there, and it relates it to English, math, reading, science, and social studies. And I bought all my teachers that this year. Anything, because when you got a kid in the classroom and you're learning about the 1600s, they're not too that just goes back to the Chromebooks. I know a lot of people are like, you know, why are you getting rid of books? We're not getting rid of books. We still have our books, they still take them home, they still use paper and pencil. But this is just the next phase. You go to college, a lot of colleges are, when you sign up for a college or pay your tuition, they give you they don't give it to you, pay for it, but they give you a computer. And that's how you do all your work on it. So this is gonna transition, especially in San Diego to high school, to these kids that are going to college. Even the kids that don't go to college, it's still, like he said, just about every kid has a cell phone. It's tough to get kids to do work, paper, pencil. And I hate to say that's a sign of the times, but it is. But you give them their phone or iPad, and man, they go to town on it. So this has been a huge help. We would not be able to do this, like Coach D said, without the money that you guys gave us. And hopefully within a year or two, my goal of having every kid access to their own Chromebook at school, because I need about 500 is my goal.
And Norman was in better shape than high school because they received some title funds and most of the elementary and middle school are title schools, and they received funds for that. And the high school kind of left out to dry, so we appreciate anything we can get.
Sure.
It's tough raising money at the high school level. Really is.
When you guys came to us, you said we've got some needs, so we see we're meeting some of those needs.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Any questions of Mr. Devers or Mr. Ballard, any of the council want to ask? Ms. Hall has come in, we'll let her talk.
I apologize for being late.
You're fine, we're just getting
Some
started.
things going on. Probably mine will sound a lot like theirs because again, we used it for technology. In fact, I just ordered 40 Chromebooks the other day, and two or three stands to put them in so they can charge. On our campus, we've got a couple of computer labs, but it's just, it's hard to keep them up to date and all that, and I need to replace the computers in one completely because they're that old. So the Chromebooks are what we've mainly been buying, because I can set them up in a room and 2 rooms can share them, and they can use them anytime the kids have got just a few minutes of free time. They can get them out and work on classworks. They put the Chromebooks in their centers and work with, different projects with them. So, that Chromebooks have been a great thing for us too. We've also bought Reading A to Z for the teachers. It's just some supplementary work that they can do. We bought Social Studies Weekly. Our Alabama history books are obsolete, and that's to say the least. And they haven't been replaced in, I don't know, probably 6 years maybe. And so if I wanted to purchase new ones, they would be that old. Well, Alabama history changes year to year, so much. So we found that we can buy these Social Studies Weekly, and I think y'all get them too, yeah. And they're up to date, and the kids like them. They're high interest, and the teachers like them. They like teaching from them. So we've ordered those, for next year. We've ordered some large screen. Have y'all gotten any of those large screen TVs for your teachers? Yeah, we've gotten some of those. Some of my teachers really like them. They're pretty good sized screens, and they hook them to their computers, and they can write on them and erase them, and the kids can go up and interact with them. And
The new chalkboard.
yeah, it is a new chalkboard, yeah. And most of my teachers love them. Now everybody doesn't have one, but we just buy them along as we can. But they're also, mine are on stands where they roll around the room, so you can kind of get it back out of the way or pull it out and teach a lesson or teach off to the side if you need to. So they're real handy. Let's see, what else have we gotten? I just had Elaine run off a list of what all we've bought. We spend some of our money on our Xerox machines. We have 3 copying machines, and I know that doesn't sound like the most exciting thing, but I'm going to tell you, my teachers, if we got rid of them, it would be bad. Can you imagine? No. We have 3 copying machines, and the cost to rent them is around $1,000 a month, which is about $12,000 a year. Well, at one time, and I'm talking back years ago, the teachers had to absorb that, which meant when they got their fee replacement money, which was about $300, wasn't it, and then the teachers would have to absorb about half of it, and they got very little money. Well, over time things have gotten a little better, and so we started absorbing it, and it's something we really needed. And I thought, well, that's kind of a concrete bill. It's a bill we can count on every month. We know how much it is. So we started taking it out of this, and that way we knew it was going to be about the same amount of money every month, and we could use our general fund for lots of other things that aren't necessarily instructional, but they're needs that we need. When something breaks down, when something, the lawnmower needs another part, and he can take the lawnmower to the shop and it'll be several $100, just real quick. So those are the kind of things that we have to pay for sometimes. But anyway, so we do that. Our school check-in, if any of you have come to the school, you've seen where you can check in on a little computer, and it keeps track of people that come and go, and it gives you a little sticker. We pay for that through that. That's pretty much, so it's pretty much technology for us all the way. Right now, I think we've got about 19,000 left. However, some of it's encumbered. So we definitely didn't want our account to be down to zero. I mean, I love the fact that it's there. I just didn't want to get it totally down to zero. So we might have an emergency or something, So, but that's pretty much what we've done. I mean, it's really helped us with technology.
Just sparkling reports. We are so proud that these funds were of help to you all, and we kind of want to just let y'all sound to us, because we're happy to hear these good reports. And if the council has any comments or questions, I'll open it up to them.
Last time y'all were real nice and you sent me an itemized
Yes, ma'am.
thing. Will you do that again? You can just
Oh,
email it.
for what we,
So-
like this?
Yes.
Sure, be glad to.
Last year y'all just emailed it, and
Yeah,
that was
we
fine.
did.
Oh, okay, I'll tell Elaine. And we gave the $200 for each teacher, and I'm sure they did too, so, and that's on here too. So,
And I know they appreciated that.
they did, very much so, yes.
Well, okay, y'all are welcome to stay for the rest of the workshop, or you
Y'all come go with me to National Honor Society right quick if y'all like to.
You all,
I can't believe we don't have play
obligations.
practice.
Thank you.
There's a rumor.
We're having a play, yes,
there's a
next
rumor out on
Tuesday.
this girl right here, and I don't wanna hear nothing about it. I just want it not to be true.
It is true.
Retirement, a young person like you. Thank you for
Congratulations.
Thank
retiring.
you, thank you.
No,
Well, the reason why, I won't say the reason why, I had given it some thought, but a lot of you, or probably most of you know my son Brett. He graduated from Hamilton High, and he and his wife just found out they were expecting twins, and it's gonna be a boy and a girl, and they're due, sometime in, well, it's October. We're thinking it may come a little early, but anyway, Mike and I kinda wanna be free where we can go help them, because, her mother lives over in Titusville, Florida, and she's got a family and, more family and a job, and I'm just afraid she's not gonna be able to come much, and I wanna be where I can take care of my grandbabies. That's important.
She just thought she was retired.
Yeah, that's probably true. That is probably
Let's do
true.
the same.
Oh, we're excited.
Thank you.
When's
But
that last?
listen, pardon?
When are you retiring?
I'm retiring. My last day is June the 30th,
Oh my goodness.
so it's real soon.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
She's a short time.
You've done
I have enjoyed it. I love my job.
a fabulous job with it.
Well, thank you very much. We've got a play next week, so you're invited to come. It's gonna be, The Wizard of Oz, and it's Tuesday night and Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We'd love to have you
At Bevel,
at Bevel, yes, sir. We put on, you may have seen, Charlie Brown's Christmas, we put on back during Christmas, and then last year we put The Grinch That Stole Christmas, so we're trying to get a play in or two. This money that we make from the play, we put back in an account for our art. the Art Alliance, we got a $25,000 Art Alliance grant last year, and it paid for our music teacher this year, all year long. Well, we got another grant this coming up year, but it's only half. It pays $12,500. So we had to match it. So Melissa Huey had the forethought on back to have the play at Christmas, and we've had 2 plays at Christmas and then 1 in the spring, and any profits we make, we put into an account, and that's gonna hopefully offset next year's teacher with, so we ought to be able to have a teacher all next year, so we're excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Appreciate
and
it.
y'all are welcome to come anytime to see us.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Great reports. We're so happy that they've been able to utilize these funds in ways that are helping the children in the classroom. And that was our goal really, and I think we're seeing that come to be, and that's a good thing. That was the report from our principals on our gift to them, and very good report. Next, we need to have a discussion concerning our cable office. We kind of want to relocate the cable company, maybe back to our, if they want to stay with us, back to our police station, and maybe shuffle some offices up there and give them a spot on the north end of the building. They were in the middle of the building before, but we want them to go possibly where the police secretaries are now, and we'll be doing some discussion on how we've been thinking about shuffling the office. I know it's a nice setup, but we can't really have a drive-up service for our water customers we have a drop for payments outside, but we could actually, and we're thinking about possibly having a drive-up service for our water customers going forward, if we can make the right moves. But having 2 line up, one wanting to pay the water bill and somebody wanting to pay the cable bill, we didn't feel like a drive-up service was able to function very well, but we think we might be able to do that. We have some other thoughts in mind for that office also, and we'll discuss them later in the meeting. But I'd just like to hear from y'all and see what you think that we need to look at in the way of the cable office. If any of you've had any thoughts on it, you might want to share or ask any questions.
I think moving them would be fine. I think it would probably help them out on their rent. And I think that if, and saying that in assuming that if they were to stay here, we would need to go up on their rent. And,
That's another matter we
right.
want to talk about here at this time.
So, I mean, that's something we need to think about is, the amount of rent, because there's such a difference in the facilities. I mean, granted, and, I think it would be a good idea, assuming they want to stay. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not obligated to stay in either building.
Do you think maybe be in order to let Scott Hunt word a letter to the cable company posing some questions, or do we need to just, find a way to get them on the telephone and discuss it? How do we need to go about this? How do y'all think we ought to do it?
I think you ought to go talk to them, sit down and talk to them about it, find out how they feel about it, and then come back.
Well, I mean, unless we're under some contract with them, we're not obligated, and since they've
We have a
changed.
franchising agreement on
Right.
it.
But, so since there's been a change in their ownership, I think right now, and before they get too far, if they need to transition, they need to be doing it quickly. And, out of courtesy, you may want to discuss it with them, but I mean, ultimately, it's, you know, it's just business.
Yeah, I think you
Where
need to
do
sit
I
down
need
with
to
them.
go? Do you know where they're
I
located?
mentioned it to Scott yesterday, and, he said they had reached out to him about, if they could remain here or not, and I told him, you know, that we were probably gonna need that particular office. And, he said, well, it was a good time, you know, now, to make any changes or whatever, so, and I don't know who you would reach out to since it's charter. I don't know, and really, they don't know anything, the employees in the cable office now don't know anything either.
Okay. Well, I'll question him as to where his inquiries are coming from, and I'll try to get up with these people and take some advice from him at the same
Scott
time.
would probably know since they reached out to him, evidently, so.
They're not in Fayette anymore, as I understand. They have some offices around, but I don't know where they'll answer to. They've got a headquarters like St. Louis or somewhere there. This cable company's got a large parent company, and then they figure out into a lot of local areas. And they're coming to us now, and we're housing their collection office, and we wanna change them back to Old City Hall if they stay with us, or let them find the place that they wanna be, if they don't wanna be there.
I feel like you need to just contact them and tell them what you want and work it out with them. I mean,
I think it'd be more effective.
yeah, I think that's the way you get it done in a hurry.
I'll bring y'all along as I find out information and work on this with y'all's permission. And try to, let them know they won't be staying here. That's why I wanna ask permission to let them move, from this building.
Yeah, they should be proud to go back down to the old city hall. It's a lot easier for most customers, to me, to get in there and pay now, since, you know, it would be, looks like.
Well, I'll go work on that. I talked to Andrea yesterday about our rec center, and she says that it's looking good. They're beginning to reassemble everything. Jerry is asking us to let him go into the early part of July, to finish, and based on having so many rain days in the work, and, we haven't signed any agreement to give him any extra time, but he's asking to at least go till about the 10th of July. And I've talked to Tim, and he said that after the 10th of July, he's gonna need to start planning his fall agenda for the youth programs and everything that goes on through his departments over there. So we're gonna try to wind that job up in the second week of July.
What was his original finish date? Or what is his original finish date?
He's gonna be over about 3 weeks at that point,
So the original date was in June.
June, yeah.
I think he told us 10 months, didn't he?
It's a 10-month contract.
And he got to start work before the 10 months started somehow or another. I remember that.
He's, appealing for some time, and he don't have any time at this point in writing it, and, I'm hoping that he'll catch back up. I've asked him to try to make up the time that he lost.
Now, if he does go over, we get some type of reimbursement or
We're
there's some.
supposed to, yes.
Okay. And I don't remember how that's calculated. I don't know.
We'll probably have to start the calculation, because I'm afraid he's gonna want around 3 weeks extra.
And 2 more.
Hey, if we're getting money back though.
We gotta look at it that way.
Hey, let's get the money first, then.
You just feel bad.
Feel a lot better.
You do know the diary, huh?
Gymnasium, lights look real good. The ceiling now is not drop ceiling, it's blacked out and the new lights just really look fabulous in the gym. And, they're beginning to, reassemble everything, and it's gonna go pretty fast. The new doors are up. Scott and I are gonna make a tour of it, and he's gonna publicize some of it in the paper for us. And we're gonna plan real soon, to make a site visit and take lots of pictures and let him show the public what we're doing. But he and I have already discussed the rendezvous over there, and we're gonna do that soon, Scott.
Looking forward to it.
Angela, I'd like for you to talk about the gasoline, tax matter that's come up and we've gained knowledge of some
Okay.
overpayment. If you'll explain what has happened, I'd appreciate it.
Well, actually what's happened, Vic Rohella, the one we had the public hearing about annexing his property, he is not in our city limits, but he is in our police jurisdiction. When a company like that, a gas company, for fuel or gas, they're supposed to pay, if they're in our police jurisdiction, 1 cent on per gallon for their fuel. He's been paying 2. They were charging him Mid-States, is it Mid-States or Mid-South? Let me see.
State
And-
Petroleum.
Yes. And actually how that works is every month, these different distributors, they mail a check. And they may deliver to several people. And it wasn't just Mr. Rohella, it was several places where they were charging him the same amount that they did everybody that was in the city limits. So basically, he has overpaid, and they have overpaid us. So they're requesting through him that we reimburse half of what he's paid. She has sent me everything that, proof. And I mean, this has happened since he opened in September of 16. I think that was when it was, September of 16. He's been overpaying. The total amount that he has overpaid is $4,403.83. And they're asking if we will refund that
To them.
to Mid-States.
Yeah.
And then it's up to them to refund Mr. Rohella. Because I'm following the chain. It came from them to us, so if we pay it back, we're gonna pay it to them and let them settle it with him.
You need permission to write the check and get it back.
Well,
in
I
their
just
hand.
wanted y'all to be aware of it. I didn't know if this was something you wanted us to put on the agenda and y'all officially vote on, or, I'm sorry.
Well, do we pay them every month back?
They pay us every month.
Right.
And see, he's overpaid us. He's been paying us 2 cents since 2016.
Well, why don't you just give him credit for the number of months as he supposed to?
Well, it won't really work that way because when Mid-States pays us, they're paying for him, Old Max, Minute Mart, there's several stores. And like the statement that we get from them, for example, I mean, this is how it is. This is just, it comes from them. This is their monthly thing. It's just got how many gallons they sold and what they charged. It doesn't say, which part of this was his or whoever's. But she did break it down for me in this, and it does add up to everything.
Well, like you say, the simplest thing to do is just send them a check for it,
Yes. Yeah.
which I won't like no way, but that's all.
And I just wanted to mention it because
The
I feel like we need to
calculations come
pay
off
it.
of the actual invoices, and they had the price for each drop. So the prices have changed through time, that some of that was at $1.57, and now it's $2 and something, the delivery price, so, it's really off the invoices, the information we've been sent, and it's,
I mean,
I
I
think-
have it if any of you
I
want to see
think
it.
it's completely accurate. It's just that he paid 2 cents when he should have been paying 1 cent. And it amounts to $4,400 some few dollars. But, well, if you wanna bring it to the vote to pay the money back, we'll vote on it. just keep records and write the check and say what it's for. She'll do it whichever way y'all dictate on it, on the matter.
I guess it'll be up to Scott, so we have a paper trail. I mean, I don't know.
Up to Scott.
Scott Hunt, to say if we need to vote on it or if you just need to do it. I mean, I don't know.
Well, we'll need to vote on, it. We're the ones that need to approve the refund.
Yeah.
And looks like we can just approve the refund, you say all the paperwork is correct, send them a check and forget it, which we're gonna have to anyway.
Yes, you know, we've had to
We
do
got-
that
yeah.
when some people left Hamilton and went to work somewhere else, like another city, but they were still paying Hamilton's occupational tax.
Right.
We had to reimburse that. And, so it does happen.
Yeah.
You know, because she had no idea, the lady from Mid-States, when I talked to her, that she didn't realize that he was not in the city limits, so.
What do y'all think? We might as well just send them a check out.
Anytime you can get off for that.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
have to
I
worry
don't
with it
think we
anymore.
can say here what we're gonna do. I mean,
Can't vote on it.
No, but I mean,
Approve it.
we can say what we're gonna do, just not do it yet.
we can say we're gonna vote Monday night
Yeah.
on a refund.
I'll just put it on the agenda for Monday. And I told them it would probably be, you know, Tuesday or later before I had an answer for them. You know, I told them, I know we're gonna do the right thing, you know, but I said we have to, it's a process, so they're
Well, if
they're
we
fine
owe
with
it,
that.
we owe them, you know.
Yes, I mean, they did overpay.
Yeah, they owed us, we want.
That's right. So what's fair for the goose is fair for the gander.
But I'll put it on the agenda
Okay,
for
that'll be
Monday.
fine. I think we all understand what we're doing. It's just that this will be a true authorization for you to write the check. and It protects your interest on this. Oh, I meant to announce to you guys, we have 2 new certified firemen. They've taken all their training, they've graduated, and they should have their last final test scores. In leadership, our Jody Nix finished first in leadership in his class, and he did it with a pulled hamstring, and he went down there with the flu. But he's tough, that's all I can say. He's over 40 too. Life changes at 40, I'm telling you, I remember. But he did it really great, and young Rye did good too. They were both certified firemen. And that should get us out of the part-time shift coverage, and they should be able to handle all their shifts now and have the right personnel without us having a lot of overtime and extra people working. We've had some shift coverage since they've been in school, but that should end. Our 2 policemen that are gone to the academy now, I believe that Roderick and Stedham have both enrolled in the police academy now. So they'll be certifying next, and then we'll have a full staff of officers again. So maybe things are gonna look up here before long on this overtime stuff. We've been suffering through some overtime. Well, I'm gonna leave the table open for anything that y'all wanna talk about, and I don't have anything else to bring today. I just appreciate y'all being willing to come.
We need to talk about the bathrooms at the old city hall. Is somebody checking on them, or is anything been done?
It's a horrible problem, and I think probably we're gonna wind up having to build bathrooms with new plumbing. I think it's a plumbing thing. We can jackhammer the plumbing out of the floor, and that's about the only thing we can do to possibly fix it. But it's an awful mess when you got more than a few people there.
Well, I know at National Day of Prayer, we had to use
It got real stinky, didn't it?
we had to use the ones at the far end, at the north end.
Yeah.
I think probably there, if you figure on staying there, the best thing you can do is just go in and put new bathrooms in and new plumbing and all, out to where you have to go. Cause you're gonna have trouble from now on
I guess that we need to do a study on that real quick and decide what to do, cause the bathrooms are a problem, Tammy, and Gene's got a good point there. It's probably gonna be ongoing until we really fix it.
That's the way plumbing is, isn't it? Or it's from now on, I think you don't fix it. And like
The
you said,
toilets back up. That elevation there is not perfect for drainage either. And
We've had a lot of problems over at the church with plumbing Yeah. Across the street.
I remember that.
And the, LED light man that came and went through all the buildings and went down to the two small fields at the rec center, has he gotten back in touch with us? That was in March.
Haven't heard anything. I've been waiting for his report. He promised to go and look at those fields for us, but he hasn't given us any reports yet.
Something else.
You wanna ask about the bridge?
I'm ashamed to.
When's the streetlight project supposed to start? Streetlight project.
That's what she's telling me.
They've signed about everybody in the world up in the state, I think, and we're in line to get them.
Lowered it.
We've got a contract with them, but they haven't started any installation. A lot of our neighboring towns have already got their LED lights up. I've been talking to Melinda Weaver, who introduced the idea to me, and she says that she's forwarded our contracts to the right people. She got them in the right hands, they know we're in line to be installed.
What we ever decided to do about the Sullivan house up there?
Selling's house,
Yeah.
Andrea's getting me a new list to put out to bids, and then I'm gonna bring it to the council when I get 3 bids. She's putting a final list together for me right now, and then I'm gonna take it to bid with 3 carpenters, reputable carpenters, and ask them to comply with that list, and eggs to eggs, apples to apples, we wanna get that finished. But I won't spend no money till we talk again. I'll let y'all approve the bids.
What all can be done to it?
It was a punch list of about 14 items, I believe, to make it compliant.
Right.
I'll have the list at a meeting soon.
I can tell you, it's not the list, it's the people you hire. Well, that's what it amounted to before, wasn't it? I mean, they didn't do what was,
Yeah, that's what Andrea and I talked about yesterday, when I was talking to her about this list. She said, I hate so much that some of that material that was used didn't last. And it was not good work.
I went in it a couple, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and some of that wallpaper was already turning loose and hanging down, and there were a lot of open places, you know, like maybe access to the attic, just holes that were open. And, you know, and I thought, and we've been trying to heat that thing, you know.
Yeah.
And there may be a hole somewhere else. If nothing else, those just need to be covered up. And,
Sometimes those gas bills in wintertime are extreme.
yeah.
I did hear from the Historic Society through India, and they wanted us to reconsider accepting that office down here and putting it on the property, and I told her that was off the chart for us. We weren't gonna take that gift.
now, there's some people here you can get, and carpenters you can get that'll go in there and finish the job. And let them understand they won't be paid until the job is approved and complete. And you're better off you pay a little more than you do. Right, Herb?
Mm-hmm.
I found that out a long time ago.
That's right.
You and Herb are more in touch with the building folks than me. I wouldn't mind if the two of you work together on getting our 3 bids, I'd love it. Cause I don't know the men that build very much, I don't know much about the carpenters. I know some contractors that build new houses, but I don't know the people that do the repairs much.
Ain't many.
They've thinned out some,
Yeah,
that's for
what
sure.
they used to be.
Yeah, I couldn't get in the building that had the restrooms in it. That was locked. And there is an air conditioner unit on the back side of that building. So I don't know if the heat is on or what's going on with it. I couldn't get in that building.
We don't have a key
We finally got a key to the actual
to the
Hamilton
house,
Solom's
but we don't
house.
have a key to the restroom.
No.
Does Mike might, at the street department, didn't he work on the plumbing when it burst?
I think somebody repaired it, I don't know who repaired it. I
You
believe
mean
he
we
said-
don't have a key to it, and that's, don't
We
we?
got the key to the house now, we didn't have a key to the house, but we don't have one in the we don't have one in the bathrooms. There's,
Unless it's in the house somewhere, but there's some of those, you know, those big brown and yellow hornets. They're in that house. I'm not sure where they're coming out of. There's a bunch of them in the kitchen area. So I wasn't gonna give them the opportunity to look for that
I
key
think
and
there
find
might
it.
be some critters using the house,
Yes, I think there's some
squirrels
squirrels.
and stuff gnawing into it, I think.
There's plenty of them up there, 'cause I got them up in my house.
Squirrels are a real problem.
Sprayed to
They're
death.
really a problem, if you got about 4 or 5 tons refrigerated.
Yeah,
They like them.
if they can find a way into your house, they'll get in the
Oh,
house.
man.
We need to have it sprayed really, really good at some point. Or set some
Is it on the-
bombs off.
Is on the rotation?
Well, it hasn't been because we couldn't get in the building.
Took a beating on that.
So we may need to see, of course, somebody may need to go look first and see specifically what we need to spray for, and holes may need to be repaired.
Yeah, if
first.
those holes could be shut up, just if a board put over them or something, then I think that would help a lot with spraying it.
That pest solution, they're kinda reasonable, I think it's about $300 a year. Spray it every 4 times a year.
When I get that list, I may call you guys, and let you look over it and recommend somebody that I go to for a bid.
Yeah, and, I know, still got some of the boys that work for me still working, and
I just want somebody to do it right.
well, they
the
understand
first
that,
time.
people I'm talking about, before they get paid, it's gotta
They
be done
think my
right.
work's just ain't good.
You done told them that, ain't you?
Well, they need that, they knew somebody's gonna move in that house, they got through it, they'd have to go back and fix it.
Cheaper to do it the first time, ain't it?
You'll learn that right off the bat, if you got about 15 houses under construction, 10, 12.
Okay, folks, thank y'all for coming, I appreciate it.
I learned hard way the cheapest is not always the best.
Yes,
No.
standards.